Hi guys, we are Team IoT Vaidya. We are team number 3 and we are competing in Intel Ultimate Coder Challenge for IoT. We'll be making cognitive healthcare solutions for rural areas. In this particular videos, we will be showing you the sensors that we have used and also the data acquisition part. So let's begin with the sensors. We have galvanic skin response sensor for measuring the electrical conductivity on the skin, which is used to measure diabetes, etc. And for ECG, we are using the ADC module, a 24-bit ADC module called ADS1298. And for blood pressure, we have a one BP sensor, which will be used to give heartbeat as well. And for temperature, we have DS18B20 digital temperature sensor. So let's take a look at each of them. We have 4 electrodes right here. These are the ECG electrodes, but we'll be requiring just 4 for a single lead, and this will be connected to the ADS1298 ADC module via a DB15 connector. The data will be filtered and will be sent to this chip, which you can see it is ADS1298. It's a ADC chip, and it will send the data to the Intel Edison. So right here we have Intel Edison board. We have interfaced it with ADS1298 module, and also we have the Groove RGB LCD, which came with the Groove IoT sensor kit. So it will be used to signal us whenever the data is sent or the connection state of Edison with the gateway. With the Edison, we have digital temperature sensor called DS18B20. It will be used to measure the body temperature. Along with these, we have blood pressure module, which will be used to measure diastolic and systolic blood pressure. Also, it will be used to measure the heart rate. Initially, we were using SparkFun's pulse sensor, but since this module is giving us heart rate, so we omitted that. Also, we have galvanic skin response sensor. This is an analog sensor, and it will be used to detect the electrical conductivity of the skin. And all these sensors, actually the GSR and blood pressure will be connected to this Groove shield, and this will be connected on Arduino 101 board. So this will act as a sensor node along with the Intel Edison board. So the reason we are using Intel Edison board and not just Arduino 101 is because we wanted to experiment with the Wi-Fi, that it works with the it works well while sending the data, and also the digital pins that were required by our ADS1298 module was not it was limited on ADS on Arduino 101. So hence we used these two modules, and we'll be sending the data from these two nodes to our Dell Wise 3290 gateway. And for viewing, yeah, this is a Dell Wise 3290 gateway, and for viewing the information and everything, we'll use the LED monitor, and we have the web camera for taking the picture of the patient, and for inputting the information, we have keyboard and mouse as well. So we'll go ahead and do the data acquisition part. So we have connected all the sensors, and we have attached each of them to the patient's body. The temperature module, the GSR, the ECG electrodes, and the blood pressure module. These are being connected to the Arduino 101, and the temperature and ECG have been connected to the Edison board. The current status of the Intel Edison board is that it is connected with the Wi-Fi. And now let's begin with the data acquisition part. So this is the monitor for our gateway, and I'll run a script for the data acquisition. And before that, let me show you the blank files, blank CSV files where the data will be written. So each of these will contain, one will contain the blood pressure, other will contain the ECG, and this third one will contain galvanic skin response. So let's begin. So this will open one UI which will contain the form and the buttons. These 3 buttons are for, one is for the galvanic skin response, then the second one is for the blood pressure and heart rate. Also it will acquire the temperature values, and this is for the ECG. So let's begin with the galvanic spin response. So you can see that the data has been read in the file, and see initially it was empty, but now the data has been written. Now we'll start with the blood pressure. So we have started the measurement, and now we'll push the BP button. And sometime, yeah. So we have got the systolic pressure as 102, diastolic pressure is 85, and the this one is the heart rate. Actually, this is by mistake. So heart rate is 80 bpm, and also you can see these in the CSV file: 102, 85, and 80 is the pulse rate. Yeah. Now we'll start with the ECG part. So we have connected the ECG, uh, and we have pushed the ECG button, and let's see what has happened. So on this side the data has been sent, and here we have received the ECG values as well as this temperature, so which is 32 degrees centigrade currently. So let's look at this ESV file. We have got the data. So this was the data acquisition part. So now that we have acquired our ECG data, we'll try to find out if there are any anomalies. So for that we have transferred the file in this folder. So you can see ecg.csv here, and inside this folder we have a lot of files which are for detecting anomalies. So these like we'll run this run ec.py for detecting the anomaly. Before that we had run this swarm.py. So basically what it does is it swarms over the entire data sets and find out the best fit model for the data, and it pushes the parameters in model params. So all about this I've already mentioned in the blog. You can find the link below. Also yeah, so let's begin with the anomaly detection. I'll run the run ECG script, and it will do two things. First it will plot on the screen, so you can see the plot along with the anomalies if present. So the lower part will show if there are any anomalies, and the upper part shows you the actual ECG as well as the predicted one. So we expect that there will be some anomalies because the ECG we have acquired is not very fine. And the second thing which NUPIC does is it also pushes the data in a file called ecg_out.csv. So it has read 300 lines, and yet there are no signs of any anomaly. So we'll wait and see if any anomaly pops up. Yeah, there is one instance, and we expect there are more. So NUPIC is open source. You can find the NUPIC library on GitHub, and it is quite useful in detecting anomalies. Also finds predictions. So there is the second instance. And so similarly we can expect more. And yeah, so this was it from our side. This was data acquisition and the anomaly detection part. In the next video, which will be a final, we'll show you the entire thing as one module, and we'll show you how we are sending the feedback to patients via SMS, and a lot of interesting thing will be shown in the next video, so stay tuned for that. Thank you.